Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to Garbaugust 2024, Garbaugust 3D. How's your Garbingo card going this summer? The Garbaugust, of course, is a great, beloved BookTube event created by Ollie at Criminali, where in August he makes us read trash and like it. Where we read all kinds of garbagey stuff and exult in it. It was trickier for me. This Garbaugust was trickier than the last couple. I don't quite know why, unless it's that the mainstream publishing world, where I do most of my reading, has just become worse. It's easily the most straightforward answer, is that I'm just reading more unfun, unambiguous trash in my normal nightly reading. My normal nightly reading is mostly new releases, and it could be that I'm just reading more garbage there, and that made me think a little harder and maybe be a little more selective for the Garbaugust kind of trash that I love. I would hope that's not the case for the sake of the American book publishing industry. But either way, I'm not saying that Garbaugust 2024 was a failure. Far from it. I had a great time as always, and I loved watching other videos. Just loved it. Just use the hashtag Garbaugust, and you'll find all the garbage you could possibly want as we wrap things up. Today is the last day of August. Today is the last day of Garbaugust. Unbelievable. August went by like a shot. And I pondered, of course, what to do for my final Garbaugust installment of 2024. I decided, much like with other BookTube events, I decided to go back to the beginning. I decided to go back to my roots. It's not exactly my roots when it comes to garbage, because most of the garbage that I read originally a long, long time ago, before most of you were born, was science fiction and science fantasy. That kind of garbage. But I have, in the decades since, had my love of garbage ignited and reignited and reaffirmed by one particular kind of trash, and that is the giant killer shark. Now, perhaps that reached its pinnacle with Steve Alton's novel Meg, which is about the giantest of all giant killer sharks, a megalodon. But normal-sized giant killer sharks will certainly do it for me. I have read a ton of these books, and I love them. I've also watched a ton of the movies, and I love them too. It's almost impossible to disappoint me when it comes to this sort of thing. And so last night, for my final Garbaugust installment, I read this. I read Shark Island by Chris Jameson, who wrote a book called Shark Beach that I actually talked about on this channel years ago. I actually got a copy from a publisher of Shark Beach. I think he wrote 3 books that are a rough trilogy, not the same characters, but the same concept. I think he wrote 3 shark books that were all packaged like this. I don't actually have a paperback of Shark Island. I wish I did. I think the other one in the series is Demon Shark or something like that, which I have not read. Maybe I'll save that for next Garbaugust. Maybe next Garbaugust will be entirely sharks. That'd be awesome. This is... I really liked Shark Beach. I thought it was incredibly dumb fun. Just incredibly dumb fun. It is not trying to do anything unpredictable. And this is, if anything, I like this better. Because this is... Let me see if I can capture the plot in all of its glory. There is, of course, a spunky marine biologist. There has to be one of those. But there's a massive seal population off the coast of Massachusetts. Now, that's true in reality as well as in this book. The seal population off the coast of Massachusetts, where I live, the greatest state in the Union, is booming because they are protected. So they come, they have rookeries here, they breed here. And if you have a booming seal population, you are going to attract great white sharks. Simple as that. They are going to figure out where there are seals, and they are going to show up and start killing. And that is true. Massachusetts now has a huge number of great white sharks in its regional waters. You would be absolutely insane to swim recreationally in the water off Massachusetts. That would be absolutely insane behavior. I know that people do it. I watch video of them doing it. I watch video of people taking their little sailboat off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. And then when they've got a nice, beautiful summer day, they dive into the water to swim around, have some fun. Yay! Isn't this great? I'm splashing around. That is insane behavior. Insane. It is insane even to wade up to your waist in water out on the beaches anywhere along Cape Cod, because there are sharks, lots of them. And because there are lots of them, a lot of them are juveniles. So they don't know any better. They don't know that this thing on two spindly legs walking around in the shallows isn't food. They don't know that. And they're not going to know it until they take a bite. Only you're not going to like the size of the bite they take. So that is true. That is true in reality, and it's true in this book. The swelling seal population off the coast of Massachusetts that is involving this spunky little marine biologist. But an effort is being made to get those seals to move on somewhere else. And that effort is a weird kind of electromagnetic signal that is designed to make them agitated and make them want to leave, make them go somewhere else. And maybe that works, maybe it doesn't. People are a little bit distracted in finding out because there's a massive nor'easter bearing down on the whole area. Just like there was a massive storm bearing down on the island in Shark Beach. This author has his moves down pat. I don't know who Chris Jameson. I don't know this author's name at all, but I get the sensation this author has been writing books for a long time. If I'm right, there must be a million Chris Jameson novels out there that I've just never seen. Because this is a well-oiled machine. People are distracted by this massive nor'easter, but nevertheless, they're hoping that this project, this crazy, zany, mad scientist project of signaling the seals to leave, will work by agitating them. And what's the problem? The signal agitates the sharks as well. Who knew? The sharks start to get kill crazy. They assemble, and they're not as polite as sharks usually are. They start to get kill crazy. And in the midst of all of this, the boat with our marine biologist and a whole bunch of other characters capsizes. And they're all plunged into the murky depths. So suddenly they are in the heaving waters, surrounded by sharks. And there's an island that they can swim for. Just a tiny little island they can make a break for. They try to. They don't all make it. It's a gorgeous collection of scenes where they are picked off one by one in very inventive ways, very picturesque ways. But some of them, including our marine biologists, do make it to that little island. What's the problem? Well, the tide is rising to the point where the storm could actually submerge the whole of the island. So they're on land, which is all you need to do. That's all I remember thinking when I was reading Shark Beach. I was thinking to all of the characters, I was thinking, just stay on land. If you just stay on land, you'll be fine. But that's not fine if land is sinking underneath you. And that is the plot MacGuffin here, that an old hack like myself, I was just green with envy. What a great idea. The land, yes, the land is complete protection against sharks. You have to get around that somehow. The great Sharknado franchise gets around that by having sharks fly through the air. But you have to get around that somehow. If you stay on land, you will be safe. But what if the waters are steadily rising on your land? What happens then? That is the essential MacGuffin of this novel, and it is awesome. It is awesome, wonderful trash. Now, Shark Beach, Shark Island, these are a perfect example of the kind of trash that we like to celebrate on Garbaugust. Not the kind of trash that leaves you with moral questions, like I've been boring you with all summer long. Not the type of trash that maybe isn't trash in some way or other. This is just no questions asked. This is just simple trash reading. Simple, wonderful, enjoyable trash reading that the author clearly knows about. Chris Jameson might be trying here and there to add nuance, a little nuance, but this is mainly meant to be a popcorn thriller, exactly like the best of Garbaugust. So I ended Garbaugust on a real strong note because this was wonderful. I absolutely loved it. I loved Shark Island. So I get to leave Garbaugust with a big smile on my face instead of a confused look, which is good, which is very good. And of course I want to know, now that we're at the end of one of BookTube's most beloved events, I want to know how your Garbaugust went. Did you read any good trash this August? Did you enjoy yourself? I hope so. I think it's just so much fun. And now it's over for another year. Everybody looks forward to Garbaugust. They look forward to June on the Range. Now, amazing how fast this summer went. Feels like just a minute ago that we were launching on June on the Range. Now Garbaugust is over. But anyway, that's my final trash pickup for Garbaugust 2024. I had a great time with Shark Island, and I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.